So, a few days after the premiere of Daredevil Born Again, and I wanted to talk about something in specific, the Rotten Tomatoes score. Now, I know not a lot of people like to talk about Rotten Tomatoes and all the other, review sites, but I feel like it's a good indicator for certain things, at least to hear from certain audience members and also to hear from certain critics. With that being said, it seems like the show is off to a major hit. I mean, it's got at the start of this, I was looking at this the other day on March 5th. It's now March 7th when this video is coming out. It's an 82% based off of 78 reviews from critics, and then a 94% on the fan side with over 500 ratings. Now, one thing I did notice was there wasn't any certified fan ratings. I don't know why, but I think this is again a good indicator, and I kind of want to talk about it. So, with an 82% from critics and a 94% from fans, it seems like everybody's kind of on board that this is pretty much a really good show. Now, let's start off with the critics. While not entirely perfect, Daredevil Born Again is ultimately brutal when it needs to be, thrilling, and light at times, dark and shocking at just the right moments. It's less a show about Daredevil and Kingpin than it is about the struggle to leave behind alter egos and live in the daylight, as well as the baggage that results from living a dual life. The ambitious 9-part series lands plenty of punches if you go in knowing that it's position comic book fare not as escapist entertainment but as a bloody political commentary. Now, a few things I want to go here. I don't know exactly if all of these reviewers, as in for the critics, if they got to see the whole 9 episodes or if they only got to see the 2-episode premiere like most of us did. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a that's why there's an 84% rather than a 90-something percent from fans. There's a little gap there, only about 10%. But I do like the one review talking about it's less a show about Daredevil and Kingpin, but rather the alter egos. The alter ego of Daredevil of Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and the alter ego of Wilson Fisk is Kingpin, and they're kind of leaving that life behind in some way. Daredevil Born Again often flies closer to the harsh realities of Matt Reeves' Batman universe than the colorful sheen of the MCU. Daredevil Born Again is a bloody delight and a worthy successor to the Netflix show. While it's not perfect, it certainly sets up a thrilling future for the character. Daredevil Born Again feels like a rebirth for the MCU. It's bold, grown up, and as teeth-clenchingly ferocious as you could ever hope. The Man Without Fear is back, and he could be the franchise's savior. I like the review talking about how it's more of the Matt Reeves Batman universe kind of tone rather than the MCU kind of colorful tone, because I did see a lot of people talk about the fact that it's not as bright, it's not as, MCU-ish, it's more of a different feel, almost doesn't even feel like it is part of the MCU, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. And then the other review talking about, this show could be the Man Without Fear could be the franchise's savior. I don't believe that 100%, but let's get into a bad review. By the end, the series sets up season 2 that audiences will be dying to see. Unfortunately, the path to get to that point is pretty rough along the way. Now, what this means, I'm not exactly sure, because if you're excited for season 2, then would you say that maybe season 1 is good? Or, I don't know, it's a little interesting. It's kind of a double-edged sword here. If you're excited for season 2, that means maybe you enjoyed season 1 and that's why you're excited for season 2, or perhaps the finale sets up something major. It seems like this review saw the entire show. Charlie Cox delivers a compelling performance as Daredevil, a blind lawyer by day and fearless fighter by night, taking on battles in court and on the streets. A masterpiece of epic proportions. Daredevil Born Again delivers a powerful, unmissable take on the Man Without Fear, putting street-level heroics on the map in a way that promises to change the MCU forever. The show is sublime superhero storytelling. That trademark grittiness returns with a vengeance, but there is still nuance to Matt's character, and Cox is as good as ever. The dynamic with Fisk continues to deliver, and some of these moments are next level. Daredevil is back in a big way. Now, more people, praising Charlie Cox, and we're going to be seeing more people praise Vincent D'Onofrio. These guys really hit it out of the park, at least with the first 2 episodes so far, but it seems like throughout the show. Daredevil Born Again is a good show with some great moments, but its inconsistent story and somewhat downright bad action keep it from reaching the heights of the original series. This is something I saw before, and this is a positive review, but it almost feels negative at the same time. As a whole, it's a Frankenstein monster of a season with various parts stitched together in ungainly fashion. That person did not like it, but let's go to another one. Too often draggy and predictable, the Disney Plus endeavor premiering March 4th appears to have learned little from its prior missteps. Finished with 2 more bad reviews because we're going to be seeing a majority of good reviews, and I want to kind of hear what people are saying that are not really a fan of it. And what I'm noticing is the bad reviews are about 5 out of 10s, 2.5 out of 10s, like these 2 that are coming up now. I'm noticing they're not 1 out of 10s or 2 out of 10s or something really crazy. Whether it's too many cooks in the kitchen due to its production woes or a desperation to recapture lightning in a bottle in trying to revive Daredevil, all Disney Plus accomplishes is giving us a watered down Matt Murdock. There have been far worse Marvel projects, but few as disappointing as Daredevil Born Again. Wow, these are those are crazy reviews. Watered down Matt Murdock? I don't understand. I don't feel that at all. But let's go over to the fans ones. DBA, Daredevil Born Again, masterfully resurrects the gritty essence of Hell's Kitchen, delivering intense action sequences that resonate with the original series style. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio compelling performances anchor the narrative, offering a seamless blend of continuity and innovation. This revival not only honors its predecessor, but also elevates the Marvel television landscape, setting up a new benchmark for superhero storytelling. Now, that is something I absolutely love to hear. With a lot of weak entries from Disney Plus, the fact that they could be going in the right direction with these shows is something that is, very exciting for a fan. I'm a fan of Daredevil, so I might be a little harsh. I have my own biases based on how I see Daredevil. Take this how you will. I feel like this was a good handoff. There is a lot so far that honors what came before while opening the door and allowing new creatives to take the wheel. It's still dark, gritty, and complicated. It provides those complicated cases and situations where you see Matt trying to fight so hard to let himself allow the system to do right. But then you see those moments where the system is blind and justice can't be served without an extra hand. They lay out a good, fun build of the stress points for the season. The action is a bit silly here or there with CGI smattered in. It doesn't deliver on several punches and lets you agonize in a good way over punches not taken. All in all, it's a good time and I'm excited to watch its full run. Yeah, that's really interesting. The CGI I did see a lot of people talk about. I almost feel like CGI will be a little bit better because it seems like that first, episode where the CGI was really wonky will be fixed later on because that seems like it was part of the reshoots that they did recently before the show came out. But I do love this, a 4-star review from somebody who is a really big fan of Daredevil and kind of can see the light of what's going on. Some quick reviews, definitely a great start to a masterpiece. I was extremely skeptical about Disney's ability to do Daredevil justice, but I'm 2 episodes in and it feels like Daredevil. I'm super optimistic, but the direction it's going in, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Marvel Television is back on track with Daredevil Born Again. In the first few minutes of the show, it goes from 0 to 200 miles per hour and doesn't disappoint. Great action, drama, and a good continuation of the Netflix series, but produced in a way that doesn't require you to have watched the previous series. I hope the rest of the season lives up to the first 2 seasons. So, he's definitely true. The show really does start and go from 0 to 200 real quick. This show does an amazing job exploring how a single traumatic event can drastically change the trajectory of someone's life forever. I never really expected a Disney Plus show to get this real. Yeah, that's really true. I mean, again, starting from literally the beginning of the show, the beginning of the season, you see the turmoil with Matt Murdock and, why he, certain things happen with him, his, like the review said before, having to trust the legal system when you know that you can maybe do better than it and how corrupt it can be. Being a big fan of the original 3 seasons from Netflix, I was skeptical about Disney being up for the task of portraying Daredevil, a hero who has countless layers to his life. These first 2 episodes brought me a lot of excitement. I especially enjoyed how they portrayed Matt's ability to hear. Can't wait for more. Yeah, that was great. I loved kind of the way they portrayed his other abilities, being that he's blind. With a 3-star review, it's tough to judge it on the first 2 episodes, but I'll sum up what I think as far as a mega fan of the Netflix series. In parentheses, the Netflix series is in my top 5 TV shows of all time. If this series didn't have the main 2 actors it has, it would be unwatchable. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio carry these 2 mediocre episodes with their screen presence. The show feels off. The tone pacing is not good, and I hope people don't give it insane praise saying it's as good as the Netflix show. Disney will take that the wrong way, and it will end up being worse. Maybe the show will improve when he actually gets to be Daredevil. For the creator to come out and say it's less navel gazing, it's crazy now in hindsight. It got more sitting around and talking than the Netflix show, but it's not even in the same discussion as the Netflix series as far as direction, pacing, dialogue, choreography, cinematography, and etc. So far, I'm not impressed, and I really hope it gets better. They honestly should have just dropped the whole season at once like the Netflix show. Maybe that would have improved the pacing. We'll see. Disney doesn't have my confidence, so I'll keep my expectations in check. That's a whole lot to break down there. Coming from a fan of the original series and they putting it in their top 5 show of all time, not just superhero show, but top 5 show of all time. He's calling the show mediocre if it wasn't for Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, which, you see a lot of praise for them in all these reviews that these guys literally steal the show, which, it is a good thing and a good sign that the main character, Daredevil, does steal the show, but it is his show at the same time. Him bringing up the fact that the dialogue, cinematography, pacing, everything is a little off compared to the Netflix series, and it almost would have done a good service if they released it all at once. Ignore the critics. This is a well-made show and absolutely reminds you of the previous Daredevil show. Great writing. The duality of man. After an odd first couple of seasons, Daredevil Born Again begins to actually show what it is, a darker but enjoyable new adventure for a blind vigilante. I have been waiting a long time for more Daredevil. I think this could be the best Marvel show. It has a lot of potential, and the first 2 episodes had me hooked. I look forward to the rest. With half a star for someone who didn't watch the original Netflix series, I figured I would give this a chance. It was terrible. Wow, that's a remarkable way to bring back the series. I have high hopes just based on the first 15 minutes. We'll see if Disney could keep in this dark and gritty category it deserves. First 15 minutes deserves a score better than any Disney Plus show I've ever watched. Feel different than the Netflix show, but still amazing. The Devil's back. Really back. Daredevil has not skipped a beat, and it has everything that made the Netflix series great and more under Disney, and series visuals and writing feels more polished. Loving what I'm seeing so far, 2 episodes in. Cannot wait to see the rest. If you love Daredevil, this is a must-see. Couple more reviews from the first episode. The story immerses us in an intense, emotional, and deeply human journey. We're so back to peak Marvel with this one. An incredible start. I've been missing Daredevil, and it lives up to the hype that I have had leading up since it had been announced. 2.5 and 1.5 from critics? Seriously? These people need to rewatch. And we'll end it off there. Let me know what you think of Daredevil Born Again. But judging that the first, only 2 episodes came out, I think the show will be probably, if not the best MCU show, it will be top 2. The only one it really has its marking for is Loki, and I don't think a lot of people watched X-Men 97 to really put it up there. But you let me know down below what you thought of Daredevil episode 1 and 2.